Hi everyone, my name's Laura and this is my channel So Very Laura. So today's vlog is to show you 5 items that I've got ready to cut out, as other than one make which I'm finishing off, I've run out of things that are already cut. So I need to get on and get to work on my cutting table. So I've got 5 items to show you and one, shall we say, gadget which might make my life easier. So let's get on and talk about the items first. And I'm going to start with what I'm wearing, which might seem a bit odd, but you'll see in a minute. So this is a ready-to-wear dress, which I don't know if you can see, it's got a shirred top and a fairly loose skirt. I've actually got two of these. I've just bought this one. This is the original, which is exactly the same design and the same fabric, just in a different colorway. So it might be easier to show you on here. So it's got little cap sleeves, shirred bodice, quite a high neck, a little bit lower at the front, and then a fairly loose, easy breezy skirt. And this is made by Isla Clothing, which is stocked at my local garden centre. I bought this one in a mad panic a couple of years ago because I was starting a new job and I was worried I wouldn't have anything to wear. So I got this and I get loads and loads of compliments every time I wear it. Really like this other colourway, so I took the opportunity and bought it. But I've decided that I want to try to clone it because, after all, that's why we sew, isn't it? So we can make things we like. So how am I going to do this? Well, I have got a book which is called How to Clone Your Own Clothes. But also I have this, which is the Sewing Bee book from the 2024 series called Back to Basics. And in here, there is a dress with, can you see there, a shirred top and a loose skirt. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this for the general instructions and for a basis for a pattern, but I'm going to try to create it so that the dimensions match this dress here. The only thing is, I've never done shirring before. So I'm obviously going to have to give it a go on some scrap fabric or something. Or I do have a top, which I think is, can't remember the name of it. I'll put it down below, but it's by, I think, Maven Patterns, which has got shirred cuffs. So I could have a go at that as a practice. I think more likely I'll just try on a little scrap of the fabric I plan to use and see if I can get it to work before I cut it out. And the fabric I want to use is this, which is a viscose. And this came from Pound Fabrics and it has been in my stash for years. Not because I don't like it, I do like it, but I just haven't found anything that I wanted to sew up in it. But by sheer coincidence, it's also got the kind of leafy feathers. And I thought that this would be a good fabric to try out in, because if it doesn't work, it wasn't hugely expensive, so I won't have lost a lot. But I think it's nice and drapey, being a viscose. And hopefully it will work out fine, and then I will be able to go on and make more of these, because they are so comfy. Even though the top is shirred and therefore a bit fitted, it's not tight. So just for wandering about in the summer, they are brilliant. So that is my first make. So a kind of remake, clone, if you like, of this shirred dress. And what I'll do is I'll pop a photo in of me wearing this in here so that you can see the full length, because obviously you can't see it terribly well just with my upper half. So I'll do that. And so that will be in that fabric. So that will be interesting. But hopefully if I can shirr, then it shouldn't be that difficult to make, I wouldn't have thought. So anyway, we will see. I will report back. Next up is something that I've already mentioned, so I won't dwell on this for ages. This is a Kaffe Fassett fabric. I think it's a cotton sateen, and I got it from Rainbow Fabrics. And I am going to make another pair of the trousers that I made, the Frankie pants by the New Red, which are the wide leg trousers that I reviewed in my last vlog. So I'll pop a pic in here of me in those. This fabric I think is just slightly drapier. So I think that will look really nice. And I think because the legs are nice and wide, it will show the fabric off to full advantage. So I really want to get these made up. Also, I am going on the Southern Social on Saturday. I know of having watched Julie Sews Her Own Clothes vlog, she thought it was Sunday, but it is most definitely Saturday. And I thought that because I've made this before, it would be a nice pattern to take with me when we're all chatting, because at least hopefully I will know what I'm doing. So that will make my life easier. So that is going to come on my cutting table as a little bit of a priority. So looking forward to getting those made up and worn. I'm very much looking forward to the Southern Social and seeing everyone again. So those are the first two. The next make, because I am not an entirely selfish sewer, is for hubby. And you might remember that back end of last year, early this year, I made him some jeans, and I made him the Quadra Jeans by Thread Theory. And I'll put a pic in here of him wearing the last pair that I made for him, which he really likes. The only problem with them has been that when we washed them, even though I pre-washed the fabric, it shrank and the jeans got a bit short. So they're still fine round the waist. And we think we've managed to stretch them out. So when we washed them last time, we did a bit of a tug of war with them, and it does seem like they've stretched, but I was going to make him another pair anyway. So what I've done is I've bought some really nice quality stretch denim from Guthrie Garney, which I got because I participated in the Fold Line Sewing Weekender, which has a digital goodie bag, and so I was able to get a discount off this fabric. So as you can see, it's kind of mid blue stretched denim, and he has decided that, as with the last pair, he wants orange top stitching. So I've managed to go out and get all the thread, so I'm ready to go on that. So again, because I've made those before, although they are an involved make, I'm hoping that I will be able to put them together without too much grief. The big issue I have, the big challenge I tend to have, is that sometimes my machine doesn't like top stitching, but I'm using what I learned last time, which is that when that doesn't work very well, I will simply double stitch in an orange thread, which is fairly near the top stitching colour, and do it that way. That seemed to work last time, so I'm not going to stress about it, she says, trying not to stress. So that's it in terms of garments that I wanted to show you. The other two makes are bags. And if you've been watching me for a while, you will have seen these before, or certainly you will have seen one of them before. So not necessarily the first one I'll make, in fact, probably the second one I'll make is this one, which is the commuter bag, which is from Sally Tomato, but designed by Holly and Tanager. And this is a kit because when I first thought I might want to sew a bag, I asked my husband if he would buy me a kit for, I think it was Christmas, a while ago, and he bought me this, and I'd envisaged that he would buy me one that was fabric, and so I've been a bit of a scaredy cat because this is faux leather. So you can see here, here's my kit. So you can see I've got the lining, and I've got all the batting and wadding and everything to do it. And I think that bit there is to do the base or the back, I'm not sure. But then I've got faux leather, which is scaring me. So I invested at the time in an ultra glide needle plate and ultra glide foot for my sewing machine, so that should make life easier. Psyched myself up to do it, and then realised that the kit didn't actually come with everything that I might need to do it. And so I then ended up going and buying wash away quilter's tape and also some feet for the base of the bag because they weren't included. But I thought, well, if I'm going to go to the effort of making the bag, then I want it to last. And they came from lovely Jenny Stitcher's shop, who obviously has just stopped trading recently. But I do want to get on and make it. I'm trying, as I go through sorting out my sewing room, to either use up or pass on items that I don't think I'm going to use. So, and things that are taking up a lot of space. And this, because it comes in a box like this, it is taking up a lot of space. And really, I need to stop being scared and I need to just get on and make it. That said, I will probably remind myself of accuracy skills first in making the other bag. And again, one of the reasons I've delayed is because it's taken me a little while to get everything to make the bag. So this one is, I don't know if there's a picture of it, there should be. This is a by Annie and it's called the Get Out of Town 2 and it's a duffel bag. So it's a kind of overnight bag, although I have to say, I think I take quite a lot more to when I go out of town than will fit in this bag. So I can show you the base because I bought a base for it and it is only, let me get hold of it, this big. So it might do a night. But I think it might be quite good for going to socials, putting my patterns and fabrics in and things. So anyway, it is what it is and I'm going to get on and make it. So again, I needed loads of stuff for this. So the outside of the bag is going to be made in this denim, it's a sort of canvas really, black, it's in black. There's all sorts of things falling off here. I've no idea what's dropping off the table. So that's the outside. And I've got this fabric for the inside, which I love, with all these kind of Baltic looking, remind me these across Denmark and Germany, they've got the, what's it called, the Hanseatic League houses. They all look the same, these kind of beautiful Baltic looking houses. So I've got that for the inside. And then because it's all so multicoloured, I thought it would look good with rainbow and bright red accessories. So for the inside mesh, I've got bright red and bright red fold over elastic. I've got a little patch to go on the outside with my initials on in rainbow. I've got rainbow zip and rainbow notions bag attachment, but it's obviously more than one of each. But I love that, the little zip with the cat on. Hope you can see that. You see? There we go. I just think they're really beautiful. And what fell on the floor, hold on, I should be right back, is my strapping for the bag handle. So now I've got everything. I've got fabric, squirty fabric glue, so I'm all right there. And I've got the recommended by Annie soft and stable wadding. You don't actually have to quilt this, unlike other wadding. So although it's a bit more expensive, because I'm a bit kind of inexperienced on the bag front, I thought I would actually buy some more of this. I've used it before and I do quite like it. So that was everything that I needed in terms of fabric and notions and everything. So I then opened the pattern the other day and discovered that you have to do a lot of measuring. So when you look at the pattern, it tells you on here, hopefully you can see that, all the different sizes of pieces that you need to make it. And some of them are quite large and they're all done in inches and not centimetres. And I have decided that I'm going to do these first as paper templates, because then if I decide to make it again, I don't have to start from scratch ruling everything out. I can just reuse the templates. And the lovely Mandy, who is Make It So, suggested that one quite quick way to do that would be to use my Cricut Maker to create paper templates. And some of those I can do it for. So the smaller ones, 2 inches by 7 inches. that's fine. But the cricket mats that I've got are 12 inches by 12 inches. So the bigger ones, like 36 by 20 or 218.5 by 20 inches, aren't going to fit on there. So I thought what I'm going to do, just to make my life easier, is I'm going to get some squared paper in inches. You would be amazed how hard it is, because in the UK we use centimetres, to get inch paper in the UK. And in the end, the only place I could get it was that place beginning with A online. And I have got the most enormous roll of this, but hopefully you can see that it is ruled out. Can I show you? It's ruled out in inches and half inches like that. So I think using that will ultimately save me a lot of time. Obviously, I've got far too much of it and it's going to last me for many bags and beyond. So if anybody who's coming to Southern Social wants me to bring it down so they can grab a bit, I'm very happy to do so. So yeah, that is my final firm plan make. And hopefully, obviously there's going to be a lot of pattern prep in all this lot because I haven't made the dress before and I haven't made either of the bags before. So I think they will take a little bit of time. But I think once I get them all cut out and everything, shouldn't be too bad, she says. But talking of cutting, this isn't a panacea, but I have, or rather my husband has very kindly, invested in something that will help a little bit. So I'm just going to grab this to show you. So I have got some electric scissors. These are not going to be an absolute game changer in terms of everything that I cut out. They can't be, because if you try and use them to cut a really flimsy fabric, they don't like it, or rather the fabric doesn't like it, because it's not what's the word, it doesn't have enough weight to it to actually really hold the scissors in a straight line. But I think for cutting things like the denim and also some of the bag things, the outer bit of the bag, they will be great. And I think they will also cut through leather. I'm just trying to get them out without making a real noise. They actually come with two different blades. They're rechargeable. They come with two different blades, and one is for cutting paper and cardboard and things like that, and the other one, which I've got on, is the one for cutting fabric. They are really, really noisy. So I will just show you really quickly how noisy they are. You ready? And you can switch them on and they'll stay on until you switch them off. So noisy, not hugely expensive. Again, couldn't find any locally or anything like that. So again, they've come from that place beginning with A. But I think that certainly when it comes to winter sewing, when I'm sewing things like jackets and things, and I have got plans to do that, they should make my life a little bit easier. So I thought it was worth getting some. So I will come back to you. Let me know if you want me to do a vlog about these and how I've found them. Do let me know, because I'm very happy to do that. Also let me know if you fancy a sew along for either of the bags, or if you want me to try and do a sew along about how I found making the dress. I think there are some about making a shirred dress on YouTube. But yeah, do let me know if that is something you would like. So I am going to love you and leave you because it is super hot in here, and I'd like to get this up and edited as soon as I can. So I hope you're not all melting wherever you are, and I hope you are all well and having a chance to do some sewing if that's what you would like to do. So take care, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.